All right, so this weekend we finished up the main build of the mezzanine. As you see or saw, I don't know which way I'll put it in, but in the time lapse showing Saturday, me and Skippy spent all day putting the rest of the floor joists in, and then putting all the Vantex subflooring down, and getting all that stuff glued and nailed down. And then Sunday my dad came over, and we cut the stringers for the steps and put all the steps on and got that area ready. So I'll go ahead and show you that stuff now. Here's a look at it from downstairs, finished up. We just put some plywood in on this section here for now, just so we could have the smooth side out for the stairwell, because we need to be sandwiched in between the stairs and the but later I'm gonna build up a 2x4 frame wall right in here, going across all the way across to there, to make this a closet. This will be a closet here underneath the, let me back up, see. So there'll be a closet wall there from the bottom of the steps out to here. That will be the air compressor is going to sit beside the electric panel. So the door will kind of be centered between the two, more so to, I guess, because it's going to be 4 foot deep. There's plenty of room to, the compressor's on wheels, so I'll probably put the door in front of the panel just so I have more than the required access to it, and then the compressor will roll in and go beside there. And then I may put a second door, like a small door or something down here, just to put storage underneath the stairs. But I'm also, when I do it, I'm also going to put a like a little header or something that goes across to put some extra support under the center of the steps. Probably doesn't need it, but I'm pretty sure code requires something under it too. But they don't move at all. But I want extra support on them just in case. I don't want to take any chances. But yeah, so everything's up. Real happy with the way everything turned out. And let's go upstairs, check out these steps. So we built the 4 stringers and then anchored them to the concrete, and then started putting all these stair treads and risers on, stair treads and risers. So I just bought the pre-made pine ones for it, and put this wall in there. There's just gonna be a handrail that comes all the way down on both sides, but it's 4 foot wide, so it's a nice wide set of steps. And then this is obviously 4 foot landing plus the width of the step, so plenty of room to get up here. And then here's the space. What I'm getting ready to do now is I'm starting to bring these long 2x4x12s up, so I can start making, and a bunch of 2x4s, so I can start framing up this back wall to go all the way across here. And then once I'm done this wall, then I'll do that wall there. Once those are done, then I'll start building the office and bathroom area. This fan, which doesn't hit my head, it's only a couple inches off of it, so I'm going to take and put cut the down rod and make it shorter, and then that fan's going to go away, that light's going to go away. I might move these other 2 lights above me, and we'll change some of the switching around. But for now, I'm gonna get back to getting some 2x4s up here and start building this wall. So I'm gonna set it up on a time lapse to show that. Hey guys, well, I got a little distracted and forgot to start recording today before I started doing anything. It's just time lapse anyway, but I'll catch you up on what I've done so far, and then I'll put it back to time lapse. So anyway, yesterday I framed up the walls for the office and bathroom, and today I started putting the ceiling in for the office. I've already got this side nailed up, and I gotta come in here and mark this top wall where the joists go on this side, and then I can nail those in. And then the bathroom ceiling is just going to be like this one is a 2x4. I'm gonna put on top of the back wall and on top of the front wall, and it's going to touch the roof purlin, and I'll screw it to that. That way I can get the, so let me see if I can back up in here. So that way I can get the maximum height I need, because the shower that I want to get, it's going to go from that corner over to here, like 5 foot. I think it's I can't remember what size it is, close to 5 foot or something. So when it comes up to here, it's 72 inches tall for the rough. Oops, sorry. Comes up to here, it's 72 inches for the rough finished opening, or rough opening. Ugh. Can't talk today. So from here to here, that way the edge of the fiberglass enclosure will still be underneath the ceiling. That's why I made it, because it was originally just going to be 5 foot, but I made it 6 foot to get the ceiling height over further. So I'll just build like some little shelves or something beside the shower, and like that little cubby beside it. You know, so when you come in the door here, you know, you'll walk through the door of the bathroom. Door will swing in. There'll be the sink there, toilet there, and shower there, and then there'll be a little cubby on that side there beside the toilet and shower for toilet paper and paper towels and stuff like that, cleaning stuff. And then this opening here, that I didn't have room for another 32 inch door. 32 inch? Yeah, 32 inch. So this one's going to be a 28, and it's going to swing into the office just for room, but it'll be a closet here, and the back half of the closet will be a hot water heater sitting back there for the bathroom, and then I'll put a removable wall or something, and put some removable shelves in the closet, so that way you know, if I need to service the hot water heater, I can get to it, but it's not in the room, or, you know, try to maximize the space. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to putting this ceiling together. I'm running out of time. All right. I think the SD card was full yesterday, so I didn't really record any time-lapse stuff while I was working on this mezzanine office stuff. But yesterday, I think I put all the plywood on the finished doing the bracing and all the blocking in the ceiling, and you know, all the drywall backups for like the inside corners and stuff like that down below. And then I did so I put this plywood up. I'll show you now. So I put the plywood up on the back wall to stop anything from going further back. So that's like 16 or 18 inches tall in the back there. I think it's 18 inches. So nothing need. I don't need anything smaller getting pushed back against the insulation. So that was a good spot to stop that storage area there. And then I put the plywood down on the floor, nailed it all down. I built this little wall in the front and put plywood on it last night. And I also finished framing this section up. And so that's what I'm gonna do today, is I'm gonna put plywood on, start putting plywood on this wall, put plywood on this side, and then you know, plywood the face of this. Try to get all this stuff done. So let's see. I think I showed you all the inside of this already, but so this is coming in through the office door. Try to back up a little bit so you can actually see. So coming through the office door, and then I'm gonna cut. I haven't picked one out yet, but I found some online. I don't know what I'm gonna get yet, but I'm gonna cut a big window into this section here. So the idea is to have a like an L-shaped desk right here, like a futon over here on this side. So if somebody wants to stay the night, they can sleep there. We have an L-shaped desk there, and then some shelves back behind me where I'm standing, and then that'll be the closet again. I think I already talked about this, but hot water heater in the back, and shelves and stuff, and a door on that, and then the bathroom. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I already showed all that stuff. Well, not the ceiling, or not the floor for the storage area, but well, yeah, and I already put this new big rolling ladder to use. I used this rolling ladder yesterday, so I could put the plywood up on the outside out there. Probably can't see it, but so I used that rolling ladder to be able to get up there. Made it so much easier. So it's already coming in handy. Oh, I'm gonna show you something cool. So yesterday I stayed home from work. That's why I ended up doing so much up there. Yesterday was I had to stay home to take delivery of my garage door. So here's that. Well, here's the window section. It's the only one I opened up, but yeah, I can't wait to put that up. I got the high lift track, so it should put me up. The door's 14 foot tall, and I think I got another 40 some inches of high lift track, so it should be you know, go up in the air almost 17 feet or something. And there's the rest of the track, and this big ass springs and the spring bars, the operator, all the hardware. So, but I'll do a video on all that stuff. But anyway, all right, let's get back to time lapse. Get this plywood done. All right, another new day, and we're gonna go ahead and, well, I'm gonna show you what we did yesterday, because I wasn't paying attention to the cameras at all. So I was trying to catch a little bit of the time lapse of us doing stuff, but I probably missed most of it. I feel like we didn't get a lot done yesterday, but we got a lot of things done yesterday at the same time. Me and Skippy cut all the holes in the floor for the posts and for the handrail and bolted all those in. And then we also cut the opening in the wall for the window and framed it up. And David came over and started doing the electrical, roughing that in for the hangout area and the office front wall, so I could put plywood up on that. And then started switching out some of the lights. He's got to still tie them in. That's why they're open still. But taking down the hyperlight LEDs, taking those down. I forgot I had these 8-foot LED light fixtures that are dimmable that David had actually given me years ago. I had a bunch of them, so we're putting those up. We're putting so doing 1, 2. We're gonna put one here. So 3, 4. There's one on the inside of that beam shining into the storage area. So that light will come down. It's already been temporarily removed and just kind of in place, so we still have some light until the new ones are tied in. I raised the fan up the day before, and then so we're gonna put 8 of these same lights underneath of the mezzanine. But here's the, so we started roughing in the electrical so I can put plywood up on this wall. I put this cover on that I had for the light switches here, but I absolutely hate it. I put these cover plates on the back side, and it was just so sharp on the edges that it was like, it's not sharp like this, but it looks like shit. So I'm gonna get a mud ring for this and then put a regular cover on all these things up here. Like, I was gonna do the same style. Covers like this that I did downstairs, but I can't stand this, and I'd rather have it covered because I'm gonna paint all this stuff anyway. So anyway, I put the first sheet of plywood up on there and trim that section up. Put a piece on there too. Here's the handrails. Just some untreated 4x4s. They go down into the floor below, and they're bolted. Can't see them, but they're bolted to the beam, the back side of the beam. Super solid. Like, you can't wiggle this thing at all. I doubled up the posts here on the corner instead of just doing one single one. Only for the fact that the big 6x6 post is directly under it, and I couldn't put the post in the corner where I wanted it to match both walls, so it was just better to do side by side like that. And then it makes it stronger too, because now I've got 2 posts bolted on instead of 1. I pre-drilled and screwed posts, and I'll put some spackle or something over those to fill them in. And I also screwed both corners to lock them together. And then same thing, got this one back here. And I may cut this still shorter yet, but I left it that way you got something to kind of grab onto as you round the corner. I'm gonna take a router and route all these edges and maybe sand these corners just to make it nice and smooth, so there's no rough edges on anything. But I think I'm gonna paint the posts before I put I'm gonna pre-drill all those holes for the cables, and then I'm gonna paint the posts and get all that ready. That way I don't have to try to paint around all the cables, because I think there's gonna be 10 or 11 of them, maybe 12 now, I don't know. I got to do the math on it, because I actually made this a little bit taller than standard handrail. Yeah, the top of my rail's like 39.5 inches tall. 39 and 3/8. For some reason I thought it was a little taller, but yeah, 39.5, something like that. It's a little taller. Yeah, it's a little taller. Just because I'd rather have it a comfortable rail to lean on than I'd just rather it taller. So that's what we did. So we go into the office. Here's the window I ended up getting. It's a it's 47 by 60 is what it is, and it's a slider. Probably pull the screen out of it. There's no need for a screen for it in here. Well, I don't know, I might leave it in there in case a bug gets in the downstairs, it doesn't come in here. That way I can leave the window open when I'm not doing a bunch of real dusty stuff, and let the air come in this office, you know, to kind of help control the temperature, because I'm not going to have any ductwork in this room, so it needs a way to get some kind of air in it. Yeah, so I don't know, we'll figure that out. If it ends up being too stuffy in here or something, you know, needing something more, I might do something later. I don't know, I'm not worried about it right now. If it becomes too much of a problem, I'll upgrade I'll take the mini split that's in this section, or you know, that's going to go up on the wall over there. I'll take that one out and get a 2-zone one, and put you know, get the bigger zone for out there, and then put a small zone for in here. But anyway, that's the rest of it. We're gonna put can lights, or LED can lights, in the ceiling for the bathroom, for the closet, and actually do 4 of them in here. And then I'm gonna do a bunch of outlets going around this room too. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to the time lapse and finish putting plywood up on these walls now that the electrical's roughed in. I'll catch you back up when I'm done with that, or when I get to a stopping point again. All right. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to try to prime the walls upstairs and maybe downstairs too. Try to get all this plywood with some white on it. I'm going to paint it one time with the primer. Well, so I'm going to prime it with the same paint I'm going to use as a top coat also. But I'm going to go ahead and prime it with the same paint I'm using to top coat, but I'm going to put one coat on it, and then any of the joints that I have like a little bit bigger gap than I would like, or nail holes that are deeper than the paint will fill, I'll go around and get some painter's caulk and fill all those spots afterwards. That way I can see them better, because right now I really can't tell what is going to cover and what's not. But here's the paint I'm using. I've never used this particular paint. It's the Behr Pro E600 exterior paint, semi-gloss, white. It's just a white base. It's nothing special. I'm hoping that anyway, I'm hoping that let's try that. I'm hoping that it'll cover well, and you know, with it being a semi-gloss white, hopefully it'll be fairly smooth, and the dust will more or less just I can blow the dust off of it instead of it kind of sticking into all the voids on the wood. Like I put the smooth side out on this OSB, so yeah. So hopefully using a I think I'm going to use a 3/4 inch snap roller, which might be too much. I might use, I got a 3/8 snap roller. I might use. You know, I think that'll probably be better. I think that this isn't coarse enough for needing that thicker one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use I lied. I'm gonna use a 1/2 inch snap, or not 1/2 inch, a 3/8 snap roller. I'm not gonna use the 3/4. That's way too thick for this. If I had the rough side out, maybe, and even then, I think that's still too much for this. So anyway, I'm gonna set a time lapse up behind me and try to get all this stuff primed. I'm gonna put trim and stuff on it later, but I just want to get it all one color so I can start doing other things, because I also bought for now floor and porch paint, like a gray. I'm gonna paint the floor with and the steps just to get it all one color. And I'm still not 100% certain what I'm gonna do on the rails. I originally thought I was gonna do a gray top cap and black posts, so that way, you know, you can see the stainless steel cables. But now I'm thinking maybe do a black handrail too, so it kind of just disappears. I don't know. Worst thing is I paint it one color and I don't like it, and I just paint it again with a different color. The more I put paint on it, the smoother the wood grain texture gets, so it's a win, I guess. I've got black oil-based paint for the posts, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be okay with those being black. I'm just not sure about the top cap yet. I don't know if I want that to be gray to match the floors and the columns, or if I want them to be black to match the posts. I'm not sure. I was going to do the post gray and the handrails gray, but with the floor being gray, I don't want it to all just be gray. I kind of want some color contrast. I'm going to have black. I'm pretty sure I think I've got some metal plates that I designed. Well, I copied somebody else's design, but I designed it in Fusion 360 myself. First time ever using that, and I think it's going to work to cover these outlets and put like a nice trim ring on them, so it doesn't have just a square hole cut in the plywood. But anyway, I'm gonna quit flapping my gums and start painting. So all right, enjoy. It's painting, so it's not much you're gonna enjoy, but I'm sure you'll like seeing the transformation of it afterwards. I know I'm excited to see it look different. All right. Well, I got a little bit painted so far. I didn't turn the time lapse on for doing this upstairs storage area because there's nowhere to set the camera where you'd actually be able to see it. So, and it's just painting more walls. I'm not going to show all of it because it looks the same for all of it. But it's definitely this wall out here in front of me. It's definitely almost completely dry now, so it's sucked up as much of the paint as it's going to probably. So I'm definitely gonna have to do 2 coats, hopefully not 3. But if it takes 3, I'll do 3. I mean, this Bear paint that I bought, it's only like $155 for 5 gallons. I priced out almost the same paint from Sherwin-Williams, and again, just like I said with that gray industrial paint, everything from Sherwin-Williams is so overpriced nowadays. They wanted $485, I think, for 5 gallons of their white semi-gloss exterior paint. That's stupid. Why would I pay $500 for 5 gallons when I could pay $150 for 5 gallons? And we use that Sherwin-Williams paint at work, and so far, from what I can tell, this Bear paint is just as good as it. You know, I mean, this this particle board or OSB is very porous, so it's sucking the paint up. But that why would I spend $500 on paint to just get soaked into the wood and have to do multiple coats? I mean, that'd be crazy. I'll probably end up spending $1,000 to $1,500 on paint just to paint some plywood when I could spend $300 or you know, $300 to $500 tops if I had to buy 5 or 15 gallons. But I think I'll probably end up doing all this wood. I'll probably be able to do it in less than 7 or 8 gallons, doing upstairs and downstairs 2 times. But I'll give a final count when I'm done. But anyway, here's the walls. I know y'all are tired of hearing me talk. So here's the walls. You can see it's definitely covering, but it's definitely soaking it up too. But I think the next coat will is a little bit better with it in the light, bright light. Yeah, it's soaking it up, but it's dry now, so you know, I think the next coat will actually do a good coverage on it, because it looked like it had a pretty good coverage on it until it started soaking it up and drying. But let's see if y'all can see it. Hopefully this music doesn't screw up my audio, get it kicked off. But see, I painted up there. I didn't paint the floor obviously, but the storage area is painted, so when you're down on the floor it looks like a you know, continuous area. Be nice and clean looking. Like I said, I'm still going to put trim. I'm going to put trim on the corners coming down, and I'm going to put trim across this front edge. I'm going to put trim across the top here going all the way down. You know, I'm going to put trim across the top of this, make it like a shelf all the way across there. I'm going to do trim across this top edge all the way down, and then run it across the seam going down that wall there. But that's beside the point. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and paint this wall going down the steps now. I'm going to paint this one going down and then turn and paint that one. And then I think I'm going to come back and do a second coat on this, because this is dry enough now to do a second one. But I'm going to go ahead and get a first coat on everything upstairs, so that way I can do a second coat on everything else tomorrow that I don't finish tonight. But anyway, I'll catch up to you in a little bit. I know painting's boring, but I gotta do it, and y'all get to watch me. So anyway, I'll see you in a little bit. Hey guys, what's up? You know, I primed all this wood, this OSB, one to prime it, but two to so I could see all the nails and fill those holes and stuff before I put the second coat of paint on it. Maybe the third coat, I don't know, I might do 3. So the way I've been filling all these nail holes and caulking the seams and stuff, instead of like dragging my finger across the wood and getting splinters and everything else from this OSB because it's so flaky, I have been using a body filler spreader. I've been using this side of it, but like I'll squirt, like I'll show you in a minute, but like so here's, I try to, hopefully you can see it, like this seam here, I'll run a bead of caulk down this and then just take the spreader and smear it across it, and it'll push it, you know, push it down into the crack. I'll show you in a second, but it'll push it down into the crack and it'll smooth it off the surface. And because this spreader is so much softer than a like a putty knife or something like that, it kind of, I mean, it'll fill in some of the grooves in the wood fibers, but because I'm using the smooth side, it's not, I mean, it's still not smooth. It doesn't, you don't really see a whole lot of it, so it kind of pulls a lot of it back out of the surface and just leaves it in the holes that you're trying to fill. And I've been doing the same thing with the, like I'll put a big blob of caulk on here and use it kind of like I'm filling holes with spackle, smear it on and wipe it off. I mean, I'll show you what I'm doing in a second, but I wanted to kind of explain it too. But I've been doing that for the whole, you know, I did that whole upstairs. Like I've done everything so far, even these corners coming down. Like you can see these joints I did, you know, did the corner just to fill the edge, the nail holes. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not, it shrinks back. Let's see. You know, it shrinks back into it a little bit because it's not, you know, I'm not doing, I just wanted to fill it in so it's not this, you know, a rough wooden chunked out hole with a shiny nail shining through it. I wanted it to, something that the paint could hit when I roll over it, this next coat and hide it. And like you can see, I mean, I need to put a top coat on it. That wall has 2 coats of paint on it now. I'll probably put I think I'm gonna do 3 on everything. But that has a top coat on it, or 2 coats on it, and then I did the caulk on that, and then like that wall there, I caulked everything after I did the first coat. And that's what I'm gonna do with this. I've put one, you know, primed it, and I'm gonna go ahead and caulk everything, and then do probably 2 more coats on all this stuff too. I painted the beam and the post white also. I painted those white also just to prime them, and that way I could see all the cracks in the boards and stuff, and so I could caulk those too. And actually, I'm gonna go down and show you. I'm gonna do one of the posts. I'm gonna go down and show you one of the posts first, because that's the last 2 that I didn't do are the worst 2 out of all of them, with cracks and stuff. But the good thing is they've been sitting out for probably 8 months or more since I first bought them, maybe longer. Yeah, probably 8 or 9 months, maybe 10 months now. So they're good and dried out. They're not going to crack any more than they really are. Hey, I wish I could stop moving this around. Got my hands full. They're about as dried out as they're going to be, so they're not going to. They shouldn't split and do any more cracking in them. You know, like I've talked about before in one of the other videos, wood nowadays just sucks. Quality of it's nowhere near as good as it used to be. But anyway, I'll go down there and show you filling those cracks in first on the post, and then I'll come back up here and show you a little bit more of doing it on the plywood too. Figure it might be helpful for somebody just to be a little easier than trying to smear it in there with your fingertip and making a mess of yourself and still doing a bad job and taking forever. Well, it goes pretty fast used doing this. Anyway, let me get in there. So you can see I did these columns and all the joints down here. I think I'm gonna caulk these joints too. Like I think I'm gonna do those. I did it on that one front column, but I think I'm gonna do it on all of them just because, I don't know. Anyway, like you can see cracks in this. I mean, that's how all these had a few small cracks like that. This one's probably the worst one out of them all, and that one. Those are the 2 I haven't done yet. So I'll show you real quickly how easy it is to do it like this. Alright, so hopefully y'all can see this, but let me show you what kind of caulk I'm using. I'm using this fast dry painter's caulk. I've been using this exact caulk for 20 some years, 30 years, 20 something, nah, not 30 years, I'm not that old. Probably at least 20 years working with my dad. We used it on everything. It works great. They say it dries in 20 minutes, you know, for if you're doing small spots, but if you fill in a big crater, you got to let that stuff dry more. But anyway, go ahead and fill this, show you what I'm doing. So like these big cracks, I just pump some into the crack and out on the surface, you know, so that way it kind of works it in there. And I don't worry about putting too much on it. And then I'll take the putty knife, or body filler spreader, not a putty knife, sorry, and scrape it back off. It's full. Go over these knots, fill those in, like this corner that I just pulled the chipped out piece out of it. Oh, clean that edge up nicely. Just trying to get it back off of that bolt. I don't want to put ridges on top of the bolt from leaving excess on it. Then when I have extra on the knife, spots like that, I can just fill them. Like this area where it's got deeper grooves in the wood, or ridges. Oh, wait, angle y'all down a little bit. Where it's got these deeper grooves in the wood going this way. When I pull it down, it's gonna fill them in. Start there. It's gonna fill them in and kind of smooth out some of that grain. Now that I've filled the hole, I can come back on a slight angle and draw back across the side of them, and it pulls a lot of that back out of that wood grain, so it still leaves the wood grain look instead of filling it, having smooth spots in it. All right, well, the lighting in here is back here sucks because we haven't hooked those lights up yet, but like this area sticks out a little bit. So I just smushed back in the high spots, or higher spots, and like I said, I got a big blob of caulk on there. I'll kind of work it in. And I mean, it's not going, but look how much better that looks, like this giant knot here. Now, like I said, it's not going, but it's a whole lot better looking. When it gets, when I paint them gray, you won't see that stuff. Same thing with this stuff. I mean, I'm gonna pump some into the holes, or into this, but just using up the stuff that's on this spreader. But you get the picture. Yeah, like I said, these knots. And that's the nice thing with the spreader, you're not getting it all over your hands like crazy. I mean, you still get some on your hands, but you can keep it on the spreader and keep moving around and filling all these other little spots after you've scraped it back off, instead of wiping it off onto a rag, cleaning your finger every 5 seconds. So anyway, I'll show you when I do the nail holes, but I mean, that's how I did. Well, most of them, you can't see them anymore because I don't even know where they're at. It's too dark, I can't see them. So if I can't see them, you can't see them. Anyway, so I'll show you some more in a minute when I go up and do the plywood. All right, I'm gonna show you some of these nail holes real fast on this, on the beam. Hopefully you can see this when I set it up. All right, so like what I'm doing, I've already got some on here, but like I'll squeeze Squeeze a little extra on there. And that stuff, I'll smear some on, wipe it off. Smear some on, wipe it off. Smear some on, wipe it off. Not smear it on, wipe it off. I'm not trying to make it perfect like a drywall wall. Just so it looks better, so it doesn't catch your eye. That's all. Just really trying to make it blend in more, like this stuff here. As simple as that, yeah. I'm not good at aiming the camera, apparently. But here we go. We'll do this one here. Smear it on, wipe it off. Gone. Smear it on, wipe it off. Smear it on, wipe it off. Smear it on, wipe it off. I don't know what that is. That was a fiber from the floor. But like I said, same thing. Once the caulk gets a little low on the spreader, if I don't have a hard corner to drag it off on to bring it back to the end, this tube's empty. But load the spreader up and load the spreader up and start smearing it on. Once it starts getting up higher on the spreader like that, I'll go to a hole that I'm getting ready to do and lay the spreader flat on the wall and just drag it up, and it pulls most of it off. Every once in a while you gotta clean the spreader a little bit. That's also the nice thing about this caulk is you can just take a rag and wipe it right off the spreader and it doesn't stick to it. So the cleanup's real easy. All right, well, that's enough. You get the idea. It makes a world of difference. You know, from a few feet away, you can't see any of the nail holes and stuff anymore. And once I put another coat or two of paint on them, you're not going to see any of that stuff. Then it won't look as good as drywall, and it won't look as good as nice finished plywood, like the real expensive stuff. But to make cheap particle board, OSB particle board, look decent, this is how I'm doing it. I'm sure some people will disagree or not like it or whatever, but I don't really care. It's not their garage. They don't have to look at it, and they don't have to do it if they don't want to do it. This is how I'm doing it. So, all right, I'll see y'all later. All right, well, everything's caulked now. I even did the handrail up there and the post on it too, just to fill in some of the cracks. Here it is, all caulked. I'm gonna go ahead and put probably 2 more coats on the white, on all the OSB. The beam going across and the posts coming down are gonna be gray. The handrail posts, I think I'm gonna do those black, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna do the the top handrail black too. I'm gonna paint it black first probably, and then if I don't like it, I'll paint it gray or paint it white. All right, well, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, good, bad, or indifferent. It's kind of good to hear what other people think. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Try to answer anything I can. All right, y'all have a good one. Well, I lied. We're gonna do a little more time lapse of me painting everything, second coat, before I let this video end. So here goes. Now we're me, Skippy, and Kyle are going to work on putting up the garage door. I didn't completely finish it in this video, or on video, but the first day I worked on it, we put up the main track uprights, and then started putting the panels in place. And then I think at the end of this video, or the end of this time lapse stuff, we had gotten the first piece of track going out into the ceiling, and had to take the fans down so I could shorten those up, and then figuring out the braces I needed to do to attach the track to the ceiling. Once I got those figured out, I made the first one for the right side, and then I made one for the left side, and then the next day I came back and made the center ones to match those, but I didn't get any of that on video. And then I don't think I recorded me making any of the brackets or anything for the operator or setting up the closure, which I did the next weekend. But anyway, here it is. Hey guys, welcome back. First, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers and everybody that's been watching these garage videos. Been getting a lot of good feedback from people. Anyway, just want to say thank you, and thanks for everybody new that's gonna watch and hopefully subscribe. Thanks.